Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a mukbang, and I'm going to be answering your guys' questions regarding my experience taking Comm 395, which is business communications at the University of British Columbia. So we got some Starbucks, we got a holiday cookie, and let's just settle in. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, tap that notification bell so you know every time I post, and let's get into it. Okay, before we get into the first question, I need to have a bite of my cookie because, like, look at him. Really yummy, super cute. How can you not want a Starbucks cookie? Like, come on, best part of Christmas, 10 out of 10. Question number 1. So the first thing you guys asked me is what were my biggest fears and apprehensions going into taking Comm 395. For me personally, public speaking is not something I find particularly difficult. I feel really comfortable around people, so I was actually really excited to take this class. However, once I started sort of reading the syllabus and getting a feel for things, I realized the class is structured in a way that makes you think through your ideas and structure the way you speak, which made me really nervous because, well, it's easy for me to communicate with a friend or have an easy conversation with other people. As soon as you put structure into things, I feel like I lose some of my charisma and some of the flow, I guess, that I have when I speak. Therefore, I was a little bit nervous. But I actually think things turned out okay, and I learned for the better by the end of the class. And structure is actually something that I think I needed, and it was all just to make me a better speaker overall. Okay, question number 2. What have you done to improve your public speaking, and how did you accomplish this? Initially, going into this class, I thought I didn't really need to improve much, but then I did my first presentation and it didn't go super well, so I had to not just think I was great and wing it. The most critical thing for me was taking feedback from classmates when we did the mundane passage, when we did capture the audience, and putting it into my formal presentations and watching back my presentations after they were completed. I sat down and watched my informative presentation after I got my grade back and took notes of things I noticed, and then applied that to my next presentation. And another great tool is when you're practicing for your presentations, recording yourself and watching the recording back the same way that it would sort of happen live. This allows you to see things that you wouldn't necessarily see or catch when you're just doing it yourself but you don't watch it back. For example, my hands, I move them all the time. It's super distracting. I touch my hair. Also super distracting. If I'm doing this the whole video, you guys are gonna be like, what is she doing? Stop touching your hair. It's so distracting. By watching these videos back, I was able to see those things. And then next time I speak, it's sort of in the back of my brain, okay, you need to be intentional with how you use your hands. You need to have your hair in a ponytail when you talk. I did that every presentation, actually. And these things really allowed my natural charisma to shine through because there were less distractions. So I think that was really critical for me, was taking the small little mistakes I was making that were really bringing down my presentations and just kind of nipping them in the bud a little bit. So me, my words, the way I communicate, the way I speak could really shine through without other distractions. So question number 3, what adjustments did you make to improve your listening skills? This is a tricky question. Fun fact, I'm not a good listener. I like to be the one that's talking. I like to be the one that's presenting. I like to be the one that is getting people involved. I don't like being the listener. So this was tricky for me. And I have trouble with this even in lectures and most areas of my life. I struggle to really critically listen. And I think what I did to improve my listening skills, I didn't actually implement this. My teacher made me do it. So DJ told us we all had to ask questions at the end of other groups' presentations. And because of this, I'm like, okay, I need to ask a question. So I need to listen. I need to come up with a question. And as a result, it made listening really easy because I was doing something while I was listening. I wasn't just there to sit and listen. I was there, I was sitting, I was listening, but I was also thinking critically and questioning what I was hearing and trying to digest what I was hearing. And this was really helpful. Once the Q&A period came around, I was ready with a question and I had absorbed way more information than I would have if I was just listening for fun, if you will. And this is totally cross-applicable to the business community and a tool I think I'm gonna apply in my regular life. When someone's giving a presentation, instead of me just sitting there, I think taking notes is really helpful and looking for ways to ask questions. So you're thinking critically the whole time is really beneficial. The snowman, slowly, he's melting into my mouth. So question number 4 is, what did you learn about yourself and your ability to change your bad habits? This is a really interesting question because I went into this class thinking I knew everything I kind of needed to about public speaking. But the fact that I was talking so much in so many different presentations and was watching myself speak so frequently really showed how I have these different strengths and weaknesses. So this class really highlighted that I'm a charismatic speaker. I enjoy speaking and I think I do a really good job of engaging the audience. And DJ's feedback actually constantly through the course was that I was really great to listen to. However, I say a lot. As previously mentioned, my hands, I touch my hair, so I'm a little distracting sometimes. And I, almost in every presentation actually, I've used the word so as a filler word. There's some things I sort of learned about my public speaking style, but they were actually pretty easy habits to change. I would always write down before presentations the things I struggled with in the last 2 or 3 days of practicing those presentations to be formally presented. And it's really true that if you write things down, you're more likely to remember them. I had a list of things that I wanted to remember. Then when I was practicing, I would look at the list before I practiced. So I would have in the back of my head, don't use filler words, don't say put your hair in a ponytail, do not touch it, and don't be the crazy hand lady. Then while I was speaking, I had these in the back of my brain. Because I knew my presentation really well, I wasn't thinking so hard about the content itself, but instead how I was presenting myself. I was able to nip those bad habits pretty easily after a couple of tries. Now, I'm not saying I was perfect because my grades show I was not perfect and nobody really ever is, but I was able to impact, make a difference, make things a little bit better than they would have been if I didn't practice at all. We're getting there. Okay, before we get into the next question, you guys, Starbucks holiday cups, I'm obsessed with. Look, they're like little ornamental trees. Okay, next question. What role do you think confidence plays in public speaking, and do you think you've improved this semester? I personally think confidence is the root of public speaking. If you are not confident, your whole audience notices. I noticed when other people in our Zoom rooms, when they were presenting, if they didn't have confidence, it was obvious. You're looking down, you're fidgeting, you're sort of looking around, you're looking for words at the ceiling or at the floor. It's pretty obvious. And I was lucky in that I've had some public speaking practice in the past. I've been raised by parents who have really instilled confidence in me from a young age. And I feel good about myself and where I am in my life. Therefore, I had this confidence sort of rooted in me. And I think it took a little bit of practice to get it out. For example, my first presentation, not the greatest, not great feedback. And that sort of hit my confidence a little bit, but made me realize I needed to get it out. I needed to be more confident in what I was saying. And that came with practicing and came with having faith in myself to perform well. While I think confidence is connected to charisma, which I think that is true, confidence is also connected to practice and feeling secure. So I think when you combine a charismatic person who's put in the effort to practice and know their presentation well, you have a winning formula there. I think that's what I really took away from this class. I'm a naturally charismatic person, but the class was structured in a way that I had to create structure. I had to fill out our presentation forms. I had to put my presentation in a structured way and learn the information in a structured format. So when I combined my charisma with this structure and this practice for these presentations, I was able by my second presentation to really be confident in what I was saying and how I was speaking. And you can see that my grade between my first presentation and my second presentation, crazy difference. Confidence matters, but it's not just naturally instilled in you. You can only be confident with a bit of, natural charisma, natural confidence, but also you have to put in the work to truly be confident. Last question is, what will you do moving forward to improve your public speaking skills and become a more compelling speaker after this class? Tough one, for sure. This class was so great because every week in Comm 395, or every 2 weeks, I was presenting, or other people were presenting, or we were talking about presenting the whole time. So you could really work on the things that you needed to work on. You were given tools. We had toolbox 1 and toolbox 2 of working with our audience and working with ourselves and our body language before even talking, sentence structure. We worked on so many things, all relating to public speaking. Unfortunately, regular life doesn't give you these nicely laid out toolboxes that we're going to open each week and take bit by bit. It's a lot different, especially right now during COVID. The classes I'm taking, some of them previously had presentations, but professors have decided, no, we're not going to do them because it's on Zoom and it's confusing and complicated. However, I am going into the working world next year because I'm in 4th year and I'm starting a job in September at Deloitte. And I'm going to be talking to clients on a regular basis. I'm going to be talking with a team on a regular basis. If my internship is any indication of this, I am working with people constantly. And public speaking is so much more than giving a speech or a TED Talk to 500 people or posting it online. Public speaking is how you communicate with everyone on a daily basis. So even in solder now, communicating with my professors in office hours effectively, being able to get a message across, organizing your thoughts. When I'm working, being able to communicate with a team what I mean, preparing before talking to a client. All these skills that we've been taught in business communications, structuring our ideas, knowing who our audience is, and just understanding how to talk to other people and people who might be difficult to communicate are critical. And these are things I can practice every day. For example, if I have a client who is a little bit aggressive and pretty defensive, I just come in really prepared with lots of questions to dig that information out of our client, to be really polite while still forward. These are things we've been taught in this class. Even something as simple as a group project. Working in a group and maybe not everyone being great communicators. Being able to evaluate who your audience is, which is your team, and adjusting your communication style to those individuals. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned a little bit about my Comm 395 experience. I was able to answer your questions. I swayed you to get a Starbucks cookie, hopefully, because you deserve it. COVID's hard. Get yourself a treat. And hopefully I swayed you to take Comm 395. And I think my biggest piece of advice is take it as early as you can. Take it the first semester of your 3rd year, please. Don't be like me and wait till 4th year, because the skills you learned in that class are so usable in the rest of your solder career and your business career. And the sooner you learn these skills and practice, the better a communicator you're gonna be moving forward. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.